Hey everybody, my name is Luca Tischler and here is another Fusion tutorial for AE Tuts Plus. So let's see what we'll be creating today. It's nothing special, it's only a presentation of a couple of different techniques in Fusion. So as you see, we have the ground, we have the 3D text, we have some movement, and we have a couple of particles since it's winter here in Slovenia and it's snowing a lot lately. I just thought it would be kind of a cool idea to put something inside. So what do we have here? We have basic 3D, we have particles, and we have a bit of animation and a little bit of texturing, as you see on text and on the ground. So yeah, that's it. Let's get started. So if you don't know what Fusion is, or node-based system, I advise you to take a look at my Fusion Basics tutorial and just check it out, and maybe it'll be enough to follow this one with no problems. So what we have to set up is a 3D world. So as I said, we're gonna work with 3D and we're gonna work with particles. So we'll select Tools, 3D, and we'll just undock the 3D window, and Tools, Particles, and let's do the same for particles. My screen is a little bit small right now because I'm doing the screen recording, but I think we'll manage. So first of all, we'll set up Merge 3D. What is Merge? Merge is kind of a 3D world in Fusion. Just grab it and throw it in the screen. If you press middle mouse button and left mouse button, you can zoom in. Oh, and drag left and right. If you press middle mouse button and right mouse button, you can how do you call it? You can hover, no, rotate your camera, right? And with only middle mouse button, you can pan left and right. So let's create 3D text 3D, and it automatically connects to the 3D world. So what do we have here? We have nothing. Why? Because we have to write something inside. So let's write AE Tuts Plus, and as you can see, we have 2D text in 3D world. And how do we make it 3D text? I mean, we have to make some of adjustment, like extrusion depth. We'll set it to 0.05. We don't work with with such large values because I decided to make it small. I mean, small world, ant world. Yeah. So extrusion depth 0.05, and we'll bevel depth will also yeah, 0.01, and bevel width even smaller, 0.04. That's right. As you can see, we have some of extrusion. Oh, I messed it up. Extrusion depth will go to 0.05. Yeah, that's much better. And bevel will stay the same, 0.01 or 2. Okay, I'm fine with that. And bevel width 0.004. Yeah, that's right. And we're gonna smooth it quite a lot, and we'll increase it to about 50. So we have a basic text. Right now it's Arial. I'd like to change it to Helvetica. Helvetica Neue Pro, LT Pro, 65 bold. Yeah, that's it. I love Helvetica. But right now we have ordinary white text. So let's put a texture inside it. Select loader, drag it inside, and find this one. It's kind of a rusty texture, winter-ish. Let's connect this to 3D text, but it doesn't go. It doesn't want to connect. Why not? Because in shading in text we have to select that material that we'll use is an image, and now we have another input for this image. So let's drag it to image, and immediately it shows up as kind of a weird obscure texture, and we don't like that. But something else is missing. We won't just use one material, we'll also use the material for bevel, and of course we will use as a tool as an image source. So just drag it inside, and I think that'll be okay. And we'll set the mapping level to Word. Yeah, Word. Yeah, type bevel material type image. So there another input shows up, and let's connect it to this input. And so we have a texture everywhere. We have it on the front face, on back side, and on bevels. So but something's missing. It's just not right. So we'll set up material 3D material, no material texture, no, UV map 3D, right? And we'll select it to planar X, no Z, no fits. Yeah, that's it. But the thing is, we'll animate it. So, and I'd like to see the render of it, so I'll set up the 3D renderer, render 3D, and I'll connect merge 3D to render 3D, because only renderer renders as we like it, but it's still something missing. So we'll set up transform 3D. No, it doesn't work. The ordinary transform that you can find over here. Just drag it inside. Yeah, much better. We'll transform it. Size, no. The size is okay. The aspect, yeah, something like this. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Maybe let's rotate it. Put a value inside 90 and push it up a little bit. No, that's too much. Now we have to size it a bit more. Yeah, that's it. No? Oh. Here we go. That's much better. But you see that in renderer we only have this kind of a small portion of text, so we have to set up also the camera 3D, and let's feed the camera to merge 3D, to our 3D world. So let's take a look. What's the situation? We have text, and when you select camera you also see the camera. So let's drag it a bit backward. And what do we have? Well, nothing much changed. I'd like to set up angle of view a little bigger, about 70. Yeah, about 70, and we will go to again to merge 3D, and we will push camera a little closer. Let's take a look what it looks like over here. If you have another screen, you can go to Window and New View. Oh, it showed up on my other window. So another view opens up, and then you can just drag it onto your other monitor if you want, of course. It's much easier. So let's check out what it looks like. You can zoom by clicking middle mouse button and left button and drag it left and right. And I see that we have some issues with the texture, so let's size it up a bit. Yeah, this one. So yeah, that's it. Much better, much better. Let's set the camera. We'll use, for this one, we will use the camera's use target, so we can move it up, down, left and right, but so the camera is focused on the center. We can pull the camera left or right, and as you can see, the focus stays on the target. So we'll push the camera a little up so we can see some of extrusion, and we'll move the target a little bit back and back, yeah, and a little bit up. So I think that's it for our text. Oh, another thing, in UV map tool we have to set up lock UVs on animated objects, because we will animate the text and we would really like to the texture to stay on the text, otherwise it will just be considered as 2D texture, but we need it 3D. So we'll lock UVs on animated objects and just lock it, and the software will decide for reference time, and we'll just leave it as it is. One more thing on text. We'll set up the animation, but we won't set it up here with on the transform mode, 3D controls as it's called, but we will rather animate it differently. We'll set up the modifier, and you can do it by clicking the right mouse button on the text area and select follower. So an icon appears, an activate icon, icon that considers this modifier activated, and we open it by pressing plus, and we will select the range all characters. It's very important, characters between each character, and we'll set the delay on 8. Right now nothing changes, because we also have to animate it. We will animate it in transform, select character rotation, and we'll animate character angle X. So go to frame, I don't know, 25, and type 90 in here, angle X, press right mouse button, press animate, and we have something going on. We will go to frame 65, and we will zero out the angle X. So what do we have right now? Something is going on. Let's take a look at animation. Yeah. As you can see, we have a movement, we have the delay, and it's working right nice. As you can see here in this render window, our texture stays on the text. really nice. So we have the text, we have the camera, we have the renderer, we have a texture. What else do we need? Light. So we will also use shadows, and for that one, for particular reason of shadows, we'll select spotlight. Oh, it merges it. You have to be careful what tool you have selected, because it will merge automatically to select a tool. As you can see, I have, I don't know, UV map 3D1, and if I select light, spotlight, it will merge it with UV map with the tool selected. So Control Z, back. So let's select, yeah, if you don't any tool selected, it will just put the tool in your work area. But if you have, I don't know, if you find it easier, select Merge 3D, Light and Spotlight, and it will merge it automatically. So let's set up the light. We'll push it back a little bit, up. Oh, let's select also the target, and we will raise it up a little bit, push it a little back. I think that's quite nice, and we will pull it up and on the right a bit, a little bit back, and we'll set up the cone angle. We'll widen it up, and penumbra angle, raise it up just a little bit, and then select shadows. We have shadows enabled. You can set up density, shadow map size, map proxy, and I'll leave all those to default except the softness. Right here you have no softness, but I will go to constant, so we have some softness. And map sampling, I'm gonna leave it at medium. So, but here in render area nothing happens. We don't have any shadows. Why? Because here in renderer 3D we have to activate lighting, enable lighting and enable shadows, and as you can see, we immediately have an effect. I'd like to lower intensity just a bit, so let's put it on 0.8, and I think that's it for shadows. One more thing, we have quite strong specular here, so let's set up specular intensity, which we can do here in shading. I will lower intensity to 0.6, 0.6, and specular exponent to 90. Yeah, it softens up a little bit. The shadows still, we still have the shadows and everything, but I think it's much nicer right now. So next we're gonna set up ground. Well, we could use the 3D image plane, and but everything would look like pretty much 2D, so I decided to show you how we import the FBX file inside the Fusion. So just open up Cinema 3D, I'm sorry, Cinema 4D, and just go to go here to primitives and select landscape. Just decide what looks good for you, and when you're done, just go to File, Export, Export to FBX6. I already saved one for you. It's called Ground FBX, so you don't have to do that. You already have it in the download file. So we'll close Cinema 4D. So let's import the ground from Cinema to Fusion. You do it by selecting FBX Mesh 3D. Go to your folder ground FBX and connect it to Merge 3D. Yeah, we instantly have the ground, the shadows on ground. Thank you, Avest. I don't need to rotate. I mean, you just find a point that you like. I will scale it a bit so we have more area. Push it up a bit, not too much. So we have to set up the background, and we'll do it by clicking background, and we'll drag it into the work area. And let's select for our colors, we'll select the gradient, and we'll change those fellows. And with that you can pick up the color, which I already have here, custom colors. And we have to merge the render 3D and the background together. We can do it by pressing merge and drop it into work area. If you're not sure which input is the right one, you can just hover above it and it will tell you what is background and what is foreground. So as you can see, the yellow is always the background. So go to background, connect it to background node input, and select renderer, foreground, and just throw this tool into renderer, and we have something. We have sky, but it's not as we would like it to be. We'll grab those two fellas like this and move them around so you're happy. Okay, I'm happy right now, but I think we have to close up camera just a bit. So go to camera, 3D controls, and push the Z offset a little bit inside. We can also raise up the camera so we have some perspective. We can push it even left or right. I mean, whatever looks good for you. But I think there is too much space over here, so we'll use target and we'll push it up a bit, just a bit, not too much. So we have 3D text, we have the ground, we have shadows, we have lighting. What else? Oh yeah, we need some particles, we need snow. We need snow. I hate myself for saying that. We'll go to another. We'll build up another 3D world. So let's go to 3D merge 3D, and we will feed the same camera. We can use the same camera to our different 3D worlds. So just drag it inside and then go to particles, select particle emitter. Whoa, Control C, particle emitter. I mean, I won't go too much into it because I guess you all know the particular from After Effects, and those tools are pretty much the same as in particular, so we can do almost everything like in particular. So but for this one we'll go to particles emitter, and the region we'll select cube, And what else do we need? Oh, we need particle renderer, and here we go. Feed the renderer to merge 3D. Oh, we have to connect those 3D worlds, so we won't look them separately. We can feed them together, and when we put this one, when we view this one, we have everything set up, or we can see everything. So what's missing? We don't have any particles yet. Why? Because we didn't set it up correctly. What do we need? We will increase the width to about 10. We'll make it quite big, 10, and height, I will put it, so I'll leave it as it is, and the depth also about 10, and we will raise it up above the camera so it's not interacting with the camera. We have camera over here, so right now we don't have any problems. Particle emitter is over here. Yeah, I think it's okay. So let's set up the style of particles. By default it's on point, but we'll go to blob. We'll leave the color on white. We'll go to size control and play with those settings a bit. So we have to make it really small. 3075. Size, we'll set up a little bit of size variance, and I think 0.1 will be enough. We'll leave size to velocity and by default. What else? Size Z-scale, we don't need that. Fade controls, yeah, we don't need to fade it in and fade it out. What else? Sets, controls, oh, number, we'll increase the number to about 40, and also we'll put a little bit variance in number, like 10 or something. And lifespan, let's see what we have. Right now we don't have a lot because we don't have any velocity, and that's why we will set up the directional force. It automatically connected to my emitter, and as you can see, we have snow. We have those ugly white little things falling from sky, messing with our feet. Ugh. Okay, sorry. So let's go to directional force and set it up a bit. We'll decrease the strength because it's not very, the snow is not very quick. Yeah, and the direction is direction -90, that's okay, and direction Z also 90. So we have snow, but it's not touching the ground. Why not? Oh, we have to set up the turbulence so it doesn't look so uniform, and I think it will help our snowflakes to fall on the ground. So yeah, let's select particle turbulence and let's set it up. I don't like every values to be especially with the movement, to be pretty much uniform, so let's play with those just a bit. 0.97 and 1.05 and 0.92. Yeah, What else? What else? We can, lifespan variance, we can set that up. Oh, lifespan, of course. Just raise it to, I don't know, 200. And yes, we have snow. We have plenty of snow. Let's take a look how it looks in renderer. It doesn't look too good. I mean, the snow is supposed to be white, right? But here we have a couple of black spots, and that's because of the light, because our light is quite limited, and as you can see, it affects only those in this angle. So what do we have to do? We have to push up, we have to move the light up a bit, and we will push some intensity up. Yeah, around 1 will be okay. I don't like those particles so much, so I'll push some position variance up. Also lifespan variance a bit up. And I'll push the emitter a bit backwards. So we'll have more particles in front of camera. But let's push the random seed up and try to find the good values. What else? Go to directional force. That's okay. That's directional force is okay, but I think we're missing something here with turbulence. Yeah, that's more like it. And also play with the random seed. Okay, let's say we're happy with it. And let's take a look at our animation so far. So hit the back button and just press play. As you can see, we have some issues right here. Whoa. Let's play it on proxy. We've selected high quality, but I think proxy it's okay. So let's play it. We have some snow. We have the text raising from snowy hills. And we are not yet satisfied with particles. So stop. Go to emitter. No, go to particle renderer, and we have automatic pre-roll. Just push pre-roll once again, and select pre-generate frames. So it generates those particles way before we start to way before the 0 frame. And we can also kill particles that leave the view, and our render time will be much faster. Well, as you can see, when we move the light, our shadows went way too soft. So let's see what we can do about this. Go to spotlight and try to move a little closer and a bit to left. And I think I'm quite happy with this, because we have soft shadows and we don't have any obscurations with the particles. So let's take a look. Yeah, it's a bit better, but I'm still not too satisfied with particles. So what else we can do? Let's take a look only the particles. How do they react? Go back. As you can see, particles go all directions, and let's fix that up. Well, let's raise the strength and see what it looks like. It's a bit better. Let's take a look at it in the rendered view. Yeah, I think it's better. It's quite better. What else? Let's move the emitter. No, I think it's quite good. We can push the emitter a bit in x-axis, and we can raise it, lower it a bit, so we have a bit more snow. And one more thing, go to emitter, go to style, and let's fade it in a bit and fade it out. So yeah, we have the text. Oh, I will move our mesh a bit, because I really don't like that it covers my whole text. Whoa, and down a bit. Yeah, I think I'm fine with that. Go to the first frame and roll. We have snow, we have text, we have our animation. Yeah, that's it. What else we can oh yeah, we have to texture our mesh, and we'll go to the loader and drag it in our work area, and we'll select snow texture that I found on Google Images, I think so, and let's feed our texture to FBX mesh. And we're not satisfied with the texture, and like here with text 3D we have to set up UV map. So let's do that. UV map, feed it after FBX mesh. So let's go to Z and let's raise the size a bit, X, Y and Z, of course, or fit. Yeah, but I think it's way too dark, so let's select color correction node, put it in the middle of mesh and the texture, and what we can do, we can raise gain just a bit, not too much. And I think it's too much of blue inside, so we go to suppress and just drag this one to the right, so it takes quite a few of blue out of the image. I still don't like it, so I'll raise up the gamma a bit. We can also raise the intensity of our light. Let's see. Nah, that's just too much. Let's go 1.2. Yeah, a bit better. So let's go to our merge, and what do we have? We have our text, we have animation, we have snow. We need also palms. Palms. I decided not to throw in ordinary trees, but let's make it a bit more tropical, and we'll throw in our palms, some palms. Later, throw it in your work area and choose a plant 40 and set up another one for our mat. Here we go. Yeah. So in order to make it our layer 3D, here's our palm. In order to make our image 3D, we'll have to go to image plane 3D and feed this one, feeds image to image plane, and drag image plane to our 3D world. And here's our palm. And of course we have to move it back a bit, up a bit. Let's see what it looks like. Oh shit, we don't see it. So we'll raise it up a bit, we'll scale it up a bit, and we'll move it left, on left. We can of course go to material and turn off receive lighting. See the difference, because if we move it to front and if it receives lighting, it's too much specular. Of course we can push the exponent, the intensity down, but I like just to turn off receive lights. Push it a bit left. We can scale it up just a little bit more, and we have to set up matte. We'll do it by right click, add tool, go to mask and select bitmap, and we have our matte over here, and we'll feed it to our bitmap tool, and we'll feed our bitmap mask to a mask input. It doesn't work because our, I don't know, but we'll select the channel, the luminance, and we have our mated palm. So what does it look like? Go to merge, it's a palm, and let's duplicate it, select everything. Oh, a tip: if you want to group it, just select everything, press Ctrl G, and you have a group. And if you want to rename it, just press F2 and we'll write in palm 1, and we just copy and paste it, feed it to our 3D world, and we have another palm, but we have to move it a bit. So select image plane and go to X offset and move it a bit. Let's move it on the right, and let's bring it forward a bit, just a bit. Alright, so that's it. What else? Let's take a look at it in high quality. You don't see it right now, but we have some of jerky edges which we can remove them by putting the blur tool. I like to blur it just a little bit. Blur, I don't know, blur size 1 is okay, maybe even less, 0.8, yeah, that's cool. And I like to color correct it just a little bit, so let's take color corrector, fit our blur inside the color corrector, and oh, it's too much blur. You see the difference? You have merge tool. When you take a look at merge, it doesn't show the blur, so you have to select your blur tool and fit it inside, and we see that it's a bit much, so we'll lower it to 0.4. Yeah, it's a bit better. It's a bit better. So let's also color correct it. Just push, select your color corrector and view it in your viewer. And let's put up a little blue. Let's make it a little bluer. Not too much, of course, but just to get that winter-ish, coldish feeling. And I think it's quite good, so let's view it in motion. Press play. Yeah, my computer is not as fast as I would like to have it, but hey, you have to work with what you have. So yeah, that's it. If you're satisfied with it, you select how many frames you want to run. We'll close those two fellas because we don't need them anymore. And let's say we want to render 150 frames, so write in that box 150, and also in these two 150, and because we don't need 1000 frames, we can, I don't know, go to 200, and it will be only 200 frames active in our timeline. What else? Let's put our save node, and it'll ask you where do you want it to render, and we'll select render. You have to feed the final node into saver, and here we type in the file name or the path where you want it to render. Save output format, you can choose between TIFF files, sequence, image sequences, or QuickTime movie, and you have to be really careful with the format. What kind of compression do you want to use? I use Blackmagic 8-bit for those kinds of projects. Quality is 100, frame rate 25, because I use 25 frames per second. And we don't need to save alpha because we don't have it, so just check off attempt to save alpha, and we are set to go. So just press render, and it'll ask you how do you want it to render. Do you want to render final, or do you want to render preview? And if you want to render just preview, you can select the size, half, third, quarter, or custom size. Here you can select if you want to have the high quality render with motion blur and some updates of tools. I think I'll talk about this some other time. Shoot on every frame steps. It can record only a couple of frames. Step. It can record render only fifth frame. Frame range. And that's it. But for this one, if we're satisfied completely, just select final and start render. I will stop it. What else? I think this is it. I think I showed you what I wanted to show you. So let's go again. We have 3D text, we have FBX mesh, we set up camera with some lights and some particles, some images, and I think that's it. So yeah, thanks for watching this tutorial. My name is Luca Tischler for AE Tuts Plus, and have a good render. Bye bye.